Welcome back to Underwire Podcast. I'm Dominique. If you're new and if you're not, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button on YouTube. I have a lot of watched hours, which is funny, but I don't have a lot of subscribers. So if you're watching, please subscribe.
Definitely.
So today we're going to talk about something fun. I decided to lighten it a little bit, not to diminish what you do for a living because it is such hard work, but it's a fun topic and we're in the middle of wedding season. So today we are talking about weddings. And I thought it would be fun to talk about the top 5 mistakes that people make when planning their wedding because I knew you'd have way more than 5. But let me welcome Becky Yeagle. Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
So thank you. I'm going to go through your bio a little bit because you've been around. Like I told you before, when I was thinking I want to talk about weddings, you're the first person that popped in my mind.
Thank you.
Seriously. If you have a wedding, Becky's the person to go to. So she has actually been in some capacity working with around overseeing weddings for over 35 years. She started out at Johnson's Cafe, which is in Montoursville for the local people. She loved working there. It was a family affair, cousins, and the whole 9 yards. Then she was making wedding cakes from 1997 to 2016, so almost 20 years. Her mom started making cakes in the early 70s, so it's in your blood. Mm-hmm. It's in your blood. Sugar's in your blood. Mm-hmm. And I remember that was Barb and Becky's Confections. You stopped around 2016. Herman Luther called you. You were just there, like going to Herman and Luther's interviewing for a sales job, right?
Yep,
and you thought, little part-time sales gig, not a big deal. Well, fast forward, you were interviewing people for the GM position because the GM left. And I find this so funny that you kept interviewing people and God was like, hello, I want you. So here you are, and you are a hustler. You work hard, long hours, weekends, but I love that you say that you love it.
I do.
You love
100%.
It. So your body, it feels like work, but not your spirit probably, right?
More and more every day.
And I love that your mom also was a catering manager at like Cumming College. She was chef of the year, la-ti-da. See, I told you come from a royal family of in the industry. So I love this too about you, and we'll get to know you as we talk, but you're crazy about the details. All right, listen up, everybody. If your wedding coordinator or general manager of your venue does not iron the ribbon tie around the cocktail tables, then you got the wrong one because Becky does. And you do everything from making fun garnishes for the drinks to helping clean, and you just do it all. So that was quite the bio. All right. We are going to get to the top 5 mistakes people make when planning their wedding, but I would like to first start out and ask you, how many weddings have you overseen throughout your career, and how many do you think you do on average a year at Herman & Luther's?
So at Herman & Luther's, we do about 40 a year. Mm-hmm. So there I've probably done about 240, I'd say. Prior to that, I have no idea because I have no idea how many wedding cakes I've done. Oh. I can't even imagine for 20 years. And there were weekends where I would have, 4 wedding cakes plus birthday cakes, baptism, every other cake possible. But, I'd be going to all kinds of venues everywhere. I can't, back in the day, I can't imagine a venue I hadn't been in.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Did your mom teach you how to make wedding cakes?
I would like to say it was in my blood. I made a birthday cake for a friend, and my mom wasn't home or anything. I just made this birthday cake, and I was like, how do I know how to do that?
Oh, my gosh.
And it was because I was not... Do you know Rose Gephardt?
No.
Rose is older. I worked with her at the Williamsport Hospital years and years and years and years ago. And she used to call me Becky Homecki because I couldn't bake, couldn't do anything. And she lovingly called me that. I love her.
Oh my
gosh.
But,
it was funny.
Just teasing you. Yeah.
So I was like, how do I know how to make this? And then it was just in me. So then I just kind of started doing it. Just from being around my mom in the kitchen. Yeah. And I did not watch her. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to help. I didn't want to do anything. Just. But then, Mom, of course, showed me techniques and helped me along the way.
Yes. And then it just started with that one cake for your friend. Yep. Wow.
Yep.
That's such a cool story.
It's crazy.
All right. So it's in your blood. All right. What, if you could think of the best idea you've ever seen someone do at a wedding and the worst disaster? I know. No names.
Of course, I always refer to this one, and I'm happy to say the name, Lourdes. They were from New Jersey. It was one of the early ones at the barn. They were all from New Jersey.
Oh, well, New Jersey people are fun.
All of them.
Did they have the accent and everything?
Oh, my gosh. I love them so much. They all came in. The planner, the florist, the baker, the band. I mean, everyone. No one was local.
Oh, my God.
They had a salsa band and a DJ. It was the most incredible party. Everything was beautiful. Everything was white. These gorgeous, tall flowers. I mean, I just remember so many people in the barn and that salsa band going. It was just the best party.
Did everybody know how to salsa dance too?
Well, they did.
Yeah.
They did. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would have been so much fun.
And for a few years, they would come back every year on their anniversary and go to dinner here in town, and I'd meet up with them and have a drink. But now they have a little baby. So, well, I think he's 3 now. So, yeah.
Aww.
And recently, floral installations. This one, maybe, oh my gosh, Cypress House did this, Cypress Floral, where it's probably the width of this room.
No.
And it hung from beam to beam up in the barn. And I walked up and I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, it was breathtaking.
All fresh flowers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
I had to take them forever.
Crazy.
I am always in awe of when I go to a wedding of the amount of work that goes into something like that and the detail that, and just even hoisting it up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what about a disaster? I got to have a fun one.
I would say my funniest disaster, I was not present for at the time, but it involved my mom and my brother.
Oh, no.
When delivering my cousin's wedding cake. Well, I had one of those too, but it wasn't a wedding cake. A truck cut them off. They were going to Hughesville. And she delivered cakes in layers at that time.
Well, that's smart.
Yeah. In the end, I always delivered them together, which a lot of bakers do now anyway, the way we put them together and everything. And so the bottom layer just went flying. So when they got there, they took plastic beer cups and turned them upside down and put in the bottom of that cake layer to support the rest of it.
Could you see
You couldn't tell.
Oh, okay. That's good.
No, that was a pretty big disaster, though.
And of course, it had to be a relative.
Yeah. Which was better than it being a customer, for sure.
True. That would be my biggest fear, dropping a cake or.
Oh yeah, always stressful. Gosh. Oh, and a sparkler got in a bride's eye. Yeah, late night sparklers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that when they're leaving the reception sometimes? Oh, did she have to go to the hospital?
No, one of the other bridesmaids was an eye doctor, and she really helped her.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but
a lot of alcohol was consumed.
I'm sure. So. Yes, alcohol and sparklers probably not a good deal.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's get to our list. So the top 5, drum roll, please. And you say number 5 would be don't try to do everything yourself.
Yeah.
So as great as DIY weddings are, and they're more personal and they save money, why should you not try to do a complete do-it-yourself wedding?
I feel like I see a lot more stressed out brides when they're doing everything themselves. Some people can handle it. Some people, that's their thing. Mm-hmm. Some people see it and they're like, oh, I can make that. But then when it comes down to it, time runs away.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of running here to get that, running there to get that. It might end up costing you more money. It's a lot involved,
right.
Well,
out of everything that you have at a wedding, what would you say if you wanted to save a little bit of money? What would be a good thing to do that wouldn't be super stressful that you could make yourself? Would you say the centerpieces, or is that too much stress on? doing the centerpieces?
I don't want to take away from any vendor.
Yeah.
I don't want to
That's true.
take away from a florist, from a baker, from anyone else. But if that is not in your budget to pay for a high-end, not even high-end, I mean, just a baker.
Mm-hmm.
There's different places that you can go and maybe get cupcakes and maybe go on
Gotcha, yeah.
Etsy and get a cute little topper. You know, you can do those sorts of things
Okay.
where you're not maybe baking that yourself or having maybe your cousin baking that to help you out just because she likes to bake those things.
Yeah.
You know, you still can do it nice.
And don't fall for all the like YouTube videos because you see like do it yourself
Yeah.
and you think, oh, I can like, and then like you said, you have a job, you're planning the wedding, and then your living room is filled with centerpieces that you wish you wouldn't have started.
Yeah. You
So,
don't want
okay.
to Pinterest fail for your wedding.
You what?
Don't want to Pinterest fail for your
no,
wedding.
I like that. Pinterest fail.
No.
No Pinterest fails. Okay. So number 5, don't try to do everything yourself. Number 4, you said perfectionism, which I think is a nice way to say bridezilla. No, that's my opinion, not yours.
No, not necessarily. No. Because that's one thing people say to me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, do you have bridezillas?
Yeah.
And my answer is always no.
Right.
Because we do not have bridezillas.
And it's her day, and if she's stressed out, she's allowed to be stressed out. That's a lot to do, you know?
But
yeah.
I really don't see that.
Oh, good.
Our problem typically is groomsmen.
Really?
That's where our trouble usually ends
How
up.
so?
Because they usually get really intoxicated or don't care, you know, what rules they follow or what they do. So that's usually where we have to keep an eye on things.
Yeah.
But the brides and grooms and their parents are, 99% of the time, absolutely lovely.
Oh, good.
Absolutely. But when I say the details and perfection, you can't help if it's going to rain that day.
Yeah.
You can't help little things like if your favorite aunt gets really sick and can't be there. Or, there's some things just out of your control. You're just going to have to prepare yourself that something might happen that day.
Right.
And just roll with it.
So the little details, they're just not worth getting stressed over.
Mm-mm.
It's not.
No.
Because you're right. Things are going to happen. It's never going to be perfect.
Right.
But okay. That's good. That's good.
And think about all of the great things there. Think about the
Right.
people that are there for you. Don't think about the negative things.
So my daughter's friend got married last October, and I remember shooting a text to her mom, and I was just like, so excited for you. It's going to be a beautiful day, just blah, 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 because I knew she had worked hard for it. And I said, but I want you to remember something, because I know this is what I did, and I will always remember it. I was like, do me a favor, and every once in a while at the reception, take a deep breath, look at the clock, and try to be in the moment. And don't worry about is everybody eating? Did everybody get dessert? Is this okay? Is that okay? Or the other? Live in the moment for your daughter and just have your eyes on her and just almost stop time. When I'm at a really important event, I consciously try to stop time. So I'm in the moment and I just take it all in. And that's all that matters.
That's great advice.
And then you said number 3 was, I'm sorry, I'm so old. I need my glasses. Okay. I love this one. Number 3, people. Number 3. Your partner might not be as into it as you are, and that's okay.
Into the details of planning.
Yeah, or into the details, not the marriage.
He wants to marry you. He does want to marry you.
He might not be into the marriage either.
I think I've seen that.
I didn't mean that. That's funny. Okay, let me rephrase. Your partner might not be as into the details. So we all have our strengths and weaknesses. And if your partner really doesn't care, like you said, what color linens are, whatever, it's okay. It doesn't mean they don't care, right?
Right. If they're... Don't make them come to meetings they don't want to.
Right.
If he would rather watch the game on TV with the guys, do not make them come look at floor plans.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No.
That does not help the situation. It just is uncomfortable. If they want to go hunting, go hunting. You are really super excited about planning your wedding. He is really super excited about going hunting.
And he's really super excited about being at the wedding.
Yeah.
He just doesn't care about the details.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think that makes the bride even more nervous because did you ever try to shop with a man?
No, I don't do that.
Okay, yeah, no. We're not shop because by you standing behind me, breathing down my neck while I browse makes me so nervous. We'll leave and I won't get anything. Just do it yourself and have fun.
Yeah.
Bring a girlfriend.
Yes. Bring your maid of honor.
Yes.
Bring your mom. Bring someone who enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's okay that we're different. Okay.
I think with age comes wisdom, though.
You trying to say we're old, Becky?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
as
I'll
we
take
put on our glasses, yes.
Okay, number two. So we're talking about the top 5 mistakes people make when planning their wedding. Number 2 is they don't communicate with others. Please explain.
We have lots of things at the barn as far as, contracts, rules, things that happen during the day, floor plans, all kinds of things. The bride has all that information. Actually, twice. She does it in the beginning. I resend that information the week of the wedding. So if you just share that information with your family, bridesmaids, groomsmen, so they know what's going on. Timelines for the day.
Timelines are big.
Schedules. So people know, hey, rehearsal is Thursday at 5:00. Please be there. All those things. Just communicate. Communicate with your DJ, with your florist, with your all of that.
The vendors.
In all aspects of the world, communication is so important. On that day, it's so important. So everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm not advocating lying, but I would even tell people if I'm starting at 5, I'll be there at 4 or be there at 4:30. Because if you have the tricklers and the late people, but it's also important, like you said, the DJ should know what's going on with like when the food's going to be served or when you want to do the cutting of the cake. And you're right. So many, even the vendors need to know what each other's doing in addition to the bridal party knowing, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So I have some side questions. Stick around for number 1. We'll tell you the number 1 biggest mistake people make when planning their wedding in a minute. And I should mention too, because hopefully this won't just be local. Herman Luther's is a local venue. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about that? Because it's so beautiful. I might even put some pictures on the video of it.
Well, we are a local venue, but we are also a destination venue. We get a lot of weddings from New York.
Oh, wow.
New Jersey, as I said.
Oh, Jersey, yeah.
Yeah, Ohio, Maryland, all over, because we are centrally located right in the middle of Pennsylvania. So we do get so many of those people from all over, and they don't even have people anywhere around us, family or anything. But because it's so easy to get here for their family in Maryland and their family in New York, it's a halfway point.
That makes sense. That's
so
a good idea.
We get in New York, we're of course less expensive for New York. Mm-hmm. So we get a lot of Manhattan, Long Island, Queens, Brooklyn. We get all those.
Oh my gosh. I never knew that.
It's crazy.
And how, do you do any marketing or do they just find you through Google searches?
We are on The Knot. We're on Wedding Wire, Google. We have our website. We're Zola. We're all over the place. So if you search for Herman Luther's or you search for barns, Pennsylvania barns, rustic barns, all kinds of different things that you can locate us.
Now, for anybody listening that's trying to plan their wedding or they're looking for a venue, you just gave a couple of good resources there. What are those sites you just mentioned? Can you say them again? I'm going to put their links under the...
So The Knot and Wedding Wire are two of the biggest ones.
Okay.
They're actually one company now. They've joined together, but they have different storefronts. We are on both of those.
Okay. And did you say another one? Zola?
Zola.
What's that?
It's just another website similar.
Oh, okay.
Similar to them. We have a big presence on Instagram.
Okay.
So if you go on Instagram, a lot of people find us through there too. We have all of our weddings posted, so you can see all of the weddings for the majority of them.
What's your handle? Is it Herman and Luther's? Mm-hmm. Just Herman and Luther's? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I'll put that under there too.
So the barn is actually quite historic. It's from the late 1700s.
Wow.
It is amazing.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, can you even grasp that?
No, I can't. because I've been there and it's beautiful, but I didn't realize it was that old, 1700s. So if those walls could talk,
I know.
Can you imagine?
No.
And it's funny that people from New York, New Jersey, such busy areas come there because it's so serene.
Mm-hmm.
And I would choose that in a heartbeat. It's so relaxing instead of like a busy inner city hotel or something.
Mm-hmm.
Not knocking
So
that
much
if
charm.
that's what you want, but a lot of charm.
Yeah.
And then how long has Herman and Luther's been in business? Do you know?
2015 was the first year. Herman bought it in 2014.
Wow. Okay.
Took a year to renovate the place.
My gosh.
And he is so meticulous and careful and loves the history of everything. And he just cares for it so much. He and George both. George is his son.
Mm-hmm.
So they just care for everything about it. And it's just such a beautiful property.
Yeah. If I'll put the link, but your website, I want people to go on and see it because it is beautiful. It's gorgeous. What about the food? So you guys, you have a kitchen right there. You do all of the food right there, right? Yep. So you do everything from like hors d'oeuvres to desserts.
The only thing we don't do is dessert.
Okay, so if they do have it there, they'll have to have somebody make their cake, which won't be you. No.
Not anymore.
No side hustles. No, okay.
No, not anymore. Side hustle.
You work enough. Yeah. Okay. So what typically? So a bride will come in. Like, kind of take me through the flow when she meets with you.
Well, when they contact me first, they usually shoot me an email.
Okay.
I send them back some information. They set up a tour. They come and we go through the whole venue. We start at our carriage house. Mm-hmm. So the carriage house is the little building at the front, which was the corn crib to the property. In 2017, Herman, with the help of his sister, Amy, restored that.
Amy McNamara?
It is Amy McNamara.
She's my buddy.
Yeah. Restored that and turned it into our bridal suite and groom's quarters.
Oh, I think I remember seeing pictures.
That's gorgeous.
So they can get ready in there.
Yep.
Oh, it's great.
So bridal suite, groom's quarters, and a common area with a bar, big TV, all of that. So we bring breakfast over, lunch over. Yeah. So relaxing.
I just want to have a party to have a party.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely.
Sounds so fun.
So we do the tour, then they book. Then it's usually some time. So, usually a year and a half maybe till their wedding. So then I give them a timeline of when we need things. I give them all of our preferred vendors. So these people are great. They work here all the time.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's probably
especially when
helpful.
they're out of town. Mm-hmm. So get in touch with these people.
Is there anything special a vendor has to do to become a preferred vendor on your list?
Just to do a really good job at Herman Luther's.
Okay.
No. For instance, Erin Cole, a great photographer. She did like 2 weddings at the barn, I think. And I fell in love with her photos, so I added her to our list.
Okay. All
so,
right.
No, you don't have to do anything. Just,
What about how far in advance should a bride contact you to try to secure a date? That makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Like if you wait too long.
I would say a year and a half is a good time frame. That's an average time frame.
Okay. All right. So no shotgun weddings.
We have done that.
Have you?
Yeah, we have. I mean, it could be if we have a Friday or a Sunday or something like that, or we might have a Saturday. You don't know, but Saturdays book up really quickly.
Sure.
Yeah.
And your busiest season just for weddings is from what month to what month?
Our peak season is May through October, but we're May through December busy. Now our busiest is always September and October.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
For weddings or just everything?
Weddings.
Okay. Because why don't you mention what else you do?
So we do any sort of event, birthday
like a
parties.
50th birthday party or something?
Right.
Okay.
We don't book those too far out, though. Those we book closer to the date, like 8 weeks out because of weddings.
Right.
So we don't book those too far out because weekends are typically booked up. We do smaller parties in the carriage house. Mm-hmm. So we'll do,
nice.
Yeah, we do like cocktail parties, heavy hors d'oeuvres for 40 people-ish in there.
You could do like a bridal shower, a baby shower in there.
Yep.
Huh. And your food is amazing. I just want
to
give you a plug. So what trends do you see couples doing now, traditionally, that us old farts didn't do?
Well, I don't see them doing like so much anymore, like the dollar dance anymore,
Oh, they don't,
or the bridal
really?
bouquet, or No, they don't do that stuff
They
so
don't
much
throw
anymore.
the bouquet?
Occasionally,
Oh, my
but
gosh.
no. They're really not doing the big wedding cakes anymore. It's usually just a little cake that they cut and then a dessert table, which I
Oh.
love. I love the dessert table.
Yeah.
Sparkler send-offs are still very big. They're
Okay.
very popular. The sweetheart table, just the bride and groom together instead of a full wedding party.
Oh.
That's still very popular.
Huh. Okay.
The different colored bridal gown or bridesmaids gowns.
Yeah.
That's different, and I love that.
I've seen the same color but different style.
Mhm.
But so you're saying they're doing different colors as well.
Within the same
like family.
Yeah.
Color
Yeah.
family. Are brides still wearing white, or have you
Oh,
seen
my
them
gosh.
like go out of that
I
too?
had a bride recently wear black and I died. Oh my gosh. I had been waiting for a bride to wear black forever.
Gosh,
It was so gorgeous.
really
Gorgeous.
Was she like a younger bride or like an older?
Younger. From
Really?
Williamsport.
Wow,
Loved it.
that takes some balls to to be like, I'm confident enough in myself, and I
God.
don't care what you have to
Yeah.
say. I'm sure it was gorgeous. Black is elegant.
Gorgeous.
That's so cool though.
All I can remember is
Because I know typically if you get remarried, sometimes you'll do a different color. Like I remember one time I went to a wedding, a bride was in red and she was stunning.
Yeah.
Because it was her second marriage.
Yeah.
And but I mean, even people that get married a second time, they wear white. They're like, I think you just do whatever you want anymore.
you can do whatever you want.
you really
And that's
can.
but when I meet with brides and we meet for a year and a half, we talk about things or we're emailing and stuff. And they say, what do you think about this or that? They're asking my opinion on
Yeah.
things. And I always say, it's up to you.
Right.
Whatever you're comfortable with. If you like this, do that. Don't let someone else twist your arm a certain way or you're going to regret it.
Like we did.
Yeah. I don't regret my wedding one bit.
Oh, that's good.
No.
Well,
I
Herman
invited
Luther's wasn't.
426 people to mine. That's right.
Oh my
crazy.
gosh.
Yeah, crazy.
And how many showed up? Do you remember?
306.
Oh my gosh.
I was meant to be in the
Are
wedding
you
business.
Italian?
I'm a Johnson.
Yeah. Well, you have a big family.
Scott has a big family too.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a blast.
It's a blast.
Oh, probably one of those never ending.
Never ending.
Which I have a question for you. It's a once in a lifetime. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's a special day. And I love a good party. I love a good wedding. I love. Who doesn't? You want people to stick around. What's your opinion on having food the entire time? Like we've all been to those weddings where you eat and then that's it. And I understand there's a budget. But like if the DJ or the band's playing for, 2, 3, sometimes 4 hours afterwards and there's no food, people aren't going to, they like to like munch when they're drinking and dancing. Like what's your opinion? Do you guys do that or are you pretty much, or is it different for everybody?
Well, our cocktail hour has 10 hors d'oeuvres.
Okay. Wow.
Which a lot of people think is dinner
Yeah.
because it's so much.
Wow.
It's a lot of food.
That is a lot.
Then they have dinner,
right.
which if they're doing one of our buffets is again a lot of food.
Right.
Then we offer late night snacks.
That's what I was thinking of.
So that
Yeah.
is usually like 2 hours after dinner. So they're drinking and dancing. Then we bring up maybe a dozen pizzas
Oh,
or
see,
soft
I love
pretzels
that.
or cheeseburgers and fries or
Yes.
someone coming up is doing chicken fingers and fries. You know what I mean?
And they're like gourmet pizza, gourmet burgers. They're not.
Our pizzas
Yeah.
are so
Oh,
good.
I know.
In a wood-fired oven.
Oh, I know. So I love that because if you want to stay and dance and you're having fun, and like I said, it's a special day, you don't want people to just run out the
Yeah.
door. If you keep putting food out, they stay.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people are doing those dessert buffets. So they have all kinds of cannolis and cupcakes and cookies and cake pops and all kinds of stuff.
Oh my gosh. Before we get to number one, what are a few must-haves at your wedding that maybe a bride wouldn't think of, might forget? For me, I'll tell you what mine was.
What?
In the bathroom, like having toiletries.
Yeah.
I think that's something that you don't think of.
Mhm.
And I think it's a nice little perk to have,
Mm-hmm.
especially for the women. Hairspray
Yeah.
and like different little toiletries in
That
there.
is nice.
It's a little thing you don't think of.
Yeah.
What do you think are a few must-haves that maybe somebody planning a wedding might overlook?
Must-haves. I think a lot of brides forget about their vendors and providing meals for them.
Oh, yeah,
so that's something
that's
I
true.
typically have to remind them of when they give me their final count. I always say, "Does this include your vendors?" And they go, "Oh no,
That's
it
a
doesn't."
good point. Okay.
They often even forget themselves when I say,
Yeah.
"Does this include you?" And they say, "Oh no."
I mean, a lot of times you don't have time to eat, but that
Yeah, take time to eat. Don't forget that.
right.
Take time to take it all in. Oh, every wedding I think has a sign up. This is an
okay.
unplugged ceremony.
Oh, I'm old. So I
Yeah,
never
every
heard of that.
ceremony does. I mean, like I said, guest etiquette is a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. Can you
Because-
just speak to guest etiquette a little bit?
I mean,
like
be on
what
time
should
for the
we-
wedding,
Okay.
number one.
Okay.
I can't tell you how many times there's coming across there late.
Yeah.
Cocktail hour is just cocktail hour. It's not dinner. You don't have to eat all the food when you go up
Right.
at once.
And it's not a bachelor party.
It's not a bachelor party.
Pace yourself on the alcohol.
It's an open bar.
Yeah.
It will be there all night.
Yeah.
It's not the first time you've had a drink. You'll be okay.
I just think we don't get out much anymore.
I guess not. You wouldn't believe the things that people do for alcohol.
Oh, my
I mean, I
gosh.
love to drink, but
Yes, but
come
let's
on.
pace ourselves at a wedding.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to smoke, use a receptacle to put it out. I mean,
okay, gotcha.
just-
so guest
just-
etiquette is something
just
I've
be
never
polite.
thought of. Yes, so
just
funny.
be polite.
Okay, so bum, drum roll. The number one out of our top 5 here, because there are more, but mistakes that people make when planning their wedding. You don't take the advice of professionals that have done it a million times. Yeah. So give me some examples of that.
If your baker tells you, oh, your wedding's outside and it's 80 degrees, I don't think you should use buttercream because it's going to melt. Oh, but I want buttercream. Listen to your baker. She knows what she's talking about. If you don't like Lizzo and Taylor Swift and you want none of that played at your wedding reception, your guests want to hear Lizzo and Taylor Swift. They're going to dance to those people.
Right.
Maybe say, I don't love Lizzo and Taylor Swift. Can you, just
keep them at a minimum?
Yeah. If someone requests them, play them, but they're not my favorite.
Yeah.
Don't say no, not at all, because that's what people are dancing to. Listen to the professionals. They do this all the time. They know what's going on. They see weddings. They know how things work. Trust them. You hired them for a reason.
That's a good tip. It's okay to have a certain idea in your mind.
Yes.
Like Monica on Friends that had the book. Remember that?
Yes.
You just need to slide the groom in. But yeah, you have to be flexible, especially with outside weddings. And so for people that aren't familiar with Herman and Luther's, do you do outdoor and indoor weddings, or how does that work?
So we actually have 98 acres there now.
How much?
98.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, we have a lot of land there now. Yeah.
Wow.
We started small, and little by little, now we have 98.
That's crazy.
So we do ceremonies in the field or ceremonies on our patio under a beautiful clear tent, and it's so pretty there. We have beautiful florals hanging that have ceiling fans in them, so it's nice and cool out there. And then we have inside. So most of our events, not most, they're all inside for the majority of the events.
Oh, okay.
So dinner is inside typically.
Oh, okay. Good. I like that.
Yeah.
Because if it's so hot out, it's
Yeah. We're from the late 1700s, but we have all of the amenities. We have restrooms. We have air conditioning, heating, everything, an elevator. I mean,
oh my gosh,
we're good to go.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. And another cute thing I think that is worth mentioning that I have not heard of till recently as well. What's this new game that they're doing, the couples, where they each hold a shoe and they have you ever seen anybody do that? It's kind of like the newlywed game, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like they ask questions of the bride and the groom, and I guess if you know the question, like the bride has her heel in her hand and then the groom has his shoe, and the DJ asks questions and they're back to back and that's cute.
put things up. Yeah,
I like
just
that.
something different.
I like that.
Yeah.
Although I'd be a little worried because if the shoes weren't going up and you really didn't know a whole lot about your spouse, you might be kind of too late at that point. That sounds like a game for maybe the bridal shower.
I think that's where they do it mostly.
Okay.
I think so.
Which, that's another point. A lot of the men are, they're having co-ed showers now too, right?
They are.
Yeah. And it might go back to our one point that don't make your partner go.
Something we did not do in our day.
Don't make your partner go if they don't want to.
I hope this is more mature people watching this.
It's okay.
Not to offend.
Listen, I don't want to offend anybody, but if I do, here's my thing. You can't take a joke, right?
Yeah,
I mean, we're just joking. We're just
Right.
having fun. I think it's awesome when I see actually how engaged a lot of the guys are.
I have a lot of guys
it's so
that call.
sweet.
A lot of guys that are very involved with the planning, the floor, but they want to be.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Right.
They want to be.
And I've actually known women that didn't want to be.
Exactly.
I had a friend that the man planned it, and she was real type A. She owned a business. She was like, I just don't. And she was fine with that. And then I like the first looks that they do now.
Oh my God, I love a first look.
We didn't do any of that fun stuff.
I love a first look.
I think you should throw yourself a wedding there and just do like a.
I think I should.
Yeah.
20, maybe 25.
I'll give you my address.
22. 22 years.
Yeah.
So
renew your vows.
I'm 22, so at our 25th anniversary.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. First look with husbands, first look with dads.
Yes.
Oh, I watch those and I try and talk to brides, and I say, are you going to do a first look? And they're like, no, I want to see him when I'm going out. And I'm like, oh, it's so emotional when it's just the two of you. It's so private. It's no one's watching you. You don't care about, oh, is so-and-so here? Is Uncle Joe here? And is my hair okay? It's just the two of you. It's so neat.
Yeah. I will give this generation credit. I just think they're a lot more, they know how to live in the moment a little bit better and they're a lot more aware. And I just feel like we were always just doing what we were supposed to do, or like you said, a lot of times you're appeasing others, and it's all in what you want now. You want to wear a black dress, you go for it, honey. Yeah.
I hope more people do.
And can I just tell you that I feel your love for what you do. Like I feel how joyful it makes you, and that's what you want. And I know you're not a wedding planner; you're like the general manager.
Thank you. Yeah,
but. You're so nice that when people come to you with questions, you're not going to be like, I'm not a wedding planner. Like you help them.
I do.
I know. And that's so great of you because really you wouldn't have to. You could just stick to the details, the technical stuff.
Yeah. If George only knew the things that I did.
Yeah.
But when I said things about like, I go around to clean and I, might do the linens. We are a huge team.
Oh, I know. Let's give a shout out to your team.
Please do not think that it is only me.
Oh, I don't. Yeah,
yeah. Because
I'm sure people don't either. I'm sure they realize you're not running around doing everything yourself.
We have an incredible staff there that are all amazing. Front of the house to back of the house. They're all wonderful. We get along so great.
Oh, good.
We all love each other. And that's like no joke. We have so much fun together.
That's so important.
Yeah. I mean, when you're there Saturday morning from 9 a.m. till 11 p.m. or midnight, you got to get along.
I know. Listen, I was in the restaurant business forever too myself. And then I also catered weddings a little bit. And I've never worked harder as a server than when I catered weddings. I remember I did one outside. It was probably 95,000 degrees out, and I had to wear the long white. I went home with a heat rash from head to toe. I was sweating like I was in a workout class.
Yeah.
You're carrying the big trays, you're running, you're cleaning up, and then, but I used to love it because I love to see people having fun, and I love to see people enjoying themselves. Like it brings me joy to see other people having fun. And that's so important when your staff gets along. And it's a fun industry. I used to have fun.
Yep.
I used to have fun. So anyway, I just want to thank you so much. I mean, we managed to talk for 40 minutes about, and I'm sure we could go on and on and on. We could have came up with a list of 20 mistakes.
For sure.
But bottom line is, I want you to leave us with words of wisdom. Words of wisdom. This is what I want to ask you as far as the wisdom goes. What would be your advice, or maybe somebody said it to you, or you've heard someone say it to a bride? on her wedding day.
Stop and look at the clock and be present.
I hate her. You're going to steal that now, aren't you?
You know it.
Oh, my God. We got to go out and have a drink. We'd have fun.
That's the best advice.
Okay, well, I'll take it. I'll take it. Just on your website, put a little quote with my quote from Dominique, Underwire podcast.
What was the question again? Because I had that ready to go in mind. Ask me the question again.
The best piece of advice, besides mine, that you've heard somebody give to a bride or that you've given to a bride.
I just always say, they always are like, I'm just so nervous. And I just always say, it's going to be perfect.
Yes. Even if it's not, it is,
Yes.
right?
I just say, calm down, enjoy the day, relax. We have that carriage house where they get ready. And so it's so relaxing there that, you're drinking a mimosa, walking around.
It is.
Just relax.
And like
enjoy,
I said, I can't say
in.
this enough, that your atmosphere and where you are is so relaxing.
Yeah.
I love the trend that came into be a few years ago of the barn weddings.
Make sure you see your reception completely set up before any guests are in it, because you'll never remember it.
Right. That goes along with my advice.
Yeah.
Stop, be in the moment, take it all in. I want a quote on your website. Okay. So anyhow, if you'd like more information, I will definitely be putting all of your links under our video. You can reach out to Becky. And I just want to thank you so much for doing this. This was so fun. And she was so gracious to agree to do it right in the middle of her busy season.
Of
so
course.
I appreciate that.
It's fun.
So anyway, until next time, we might have to have you back just to hang out, and maybe we'll get a bottle of wine and talk about.
Look out. God
right.
knows what would come out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank